Namaste. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on, it's late and not that late, but just took a shower. I know that doesn't sound like a big deal to most people. It's just Topo Chico. God, I love this stuff. I love salsa. I have that and I have this. Ugh. Lemon lime. Well, namaste, my Zen zebras, my merry mermaids. I don't know. I feel like it's blurry, but probably because I have the lights out. Let me know if you could hear me. Can you guys hear me? There's only one person in the house. Can you hear me? Okay, I know. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you doing? You doing good? Nice to see you. I know I was supposed to come over today during the day with my Elizabeth Collins, the Evansdale murders, Elizabeth Collins, 8-year-old girl, and Lyric, love that name, Lyric Cook. And I was doing my notes all day. I have pages of notes from the other day, and then today I did more. And every time, I'm such a bad procrastinator. There was a lot of breaking news. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. I'm glad you're here. I wasn't doing too good. That's why I came on. Most people curl up in a hole when they're down or depressed, but me, I come on to the Mystic Brady Bunch because it cheers me up. But yeah, so I do have that reading. I didn't want to, make I had a couple of requests for that reading, and I said I was going to do it today. And then today there was a whole bunch of breaking news about the Gilgo Long Island murders. That piece of garbage in Long Island. Well, he's in jail now, but horrible stuff came out. And so I can't even talk about that. I can't talk about that case because it is 12 o'clock. And this new thing at night, last night, I just did Elijah Vu, and I was awake till 4:30. Yeah, I can't do the cases at night. I can't, maybe I could do a reading at night, like a regular reading, but cases, and then during the day, I just was too down and depressed because I'm still like, I can't believe that, yeah, my hair is up in a towel. That's, I just took a shower. And why is me taking a shower? So I have rosacea, so this is me without makeup. My whole face, it gets inflamed, like a red, like I've been burned by the water. But anyhow, I'm clean. But that was a big thing because since my trip, so the trip was June 5th. That was the last time I took a shower. I know, isn't that like disgusting? That's what happens when I get depressed. I say I'm gonna go in the shower, And I should have went in, like Devin took a million showers. He took a shower. When we got home from the airport, sitting in airports for 16 hours. Of course I should have taken a shower, but I didn't. So that's part of my depression and being a dirty bird, I guess. But I know, and I had a good friend tell me, just take your towel and go in the shower. And I was supposed to do it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I think I'm gonna go out for a walk, and I don't. I didn't. I didn't go out for a walk. My thing is, when I get depressed, I'm over by the couch or I'm over by the tables, and I do get notes done, and I can't say I did my artwork, but yesterday I did go out and go get papers, copies of different collages that I'm gonna do. I did have a special order, and that special order, I'm gonna start getting that together, and it really made me happy. If I do get the money, well, not the money for the special order, but somebody ordered a lot of stuff, and and on the aside, special order of 2 paintings, and I usually don't do that because I want to get rid of my artwork that's on the wall so I can have room to create more. Hi, Sunkissed. Yeah, I'm talking about depression. I'm talking about going into the shower for the first time since my trip. And I know those of you who follow me are sick of hearing that I'm depressed that I didn't get to go to my nephew's wedding. But I am depressed that I didn't get to go to my nephew's wedding because it's not like he's getting married again. And it's just a heartbreak for me. I was heartbroken, and I still am. Sorry about my face. It gets like that from the water. But I did do something today, which I was proud of myself. It needed to be done. The blinds in the dog's room, I scrubbed them and scrubbed them, because they're white and they're wood, and I've done them before. I'm not that much of a dirty bird. I mean, I sweep my house, I sweep the floors, but anyhow, these blinds, they are so dusty because it's dusty in Texas. Every time you open the door, dust comes in. So as I'm listening to the Gilgo conference, the Long Island murderer conference, I'm trying to clean the blinds, so I felt like, okay, at least I'm doing that. And then I have a bunch of notes for the Lyric and Elizabeth case that I'm working hard on. But I guess I can't do it at night because I don't want to. Every single night I've been up to 4:30, and that's like a really bad. Like today, Devin went out with his friends and his brother for pizza, and I wanted to go with them, but they go at like 11:30, and I just got to bed like by 4:30, quarter to 5, just like wide awake. I take my medicine, I'm still wide awake. That's how it goes. I get overstimulated by, like, my third eye is open with doing the case, and then somebody said something rude to me. And it's not that I'm a wimp. I'm not a wuss or a wimp, and I mean, I stuck up for myself, but they said something like, if you're going to put a picture of somebody and then talk about something else, and you want to do prayers, you should make it into 2 different videos. No. I could do prayers whenever I want to do prayers, and I can run my channel however I want to run my channel. Okay? And if you don't want to listen to the prayers or any other commentary when I get, myself like psyched up to do the reading, then what you could do is take your finger and you could move it forward, and you could stop it, and you'll see that I'll start talking about the subject at hand. Don't like she basically, I mean, I never saw this person before, so I'm sure they were new to the Mystic Brady Bunch. And she wanted to hear about Elijah Vu, but I did speak about Elijah Vu, and I did do his reading, so it's not like I didn't do his reading. But my process is my process, and it's my channel, so I have to do it. Obviously, she didn't know that I'm ADD. I'm like all over the place, but I always circle back. But I had a lot of prayers to give out. There was a lot of people that needed prayers. And a lot of them were close friends of mine and family members and people I know for 40 years, and just some subs, but most people on that candle, I know them for a long time. So I don't know, that twisted me, and that caused me to stay up even later because I want to be namaste and I want to be kind and nice and giving. But like, I just felt like that's a slap in my face, you know. I am doing everything for free, and don't tell me how to do it though, because I'm running the show, you know. And I mean, it's very easy. It's very easy to tell somebody how to run their channel. If you want to run a channel, you go out and you do it yourself. Okay? It's really hard to do the readings, to look at the comments, to look at my notes, to get the cards going, to tap into somebody who's in the spirit world, talk to my spirit guides, say prayers, all right? It's a lot of things, a lot of plates up in the air, and it's all for free. So I just want people to appreciate that. I actually was writing down my affirmations, and I said, you know, like, I want to be appreciated more. I want to be respected. I mean, I've been doing this jazz for a long time, not on the internet since 2019. And I should be well over 10,000 subs. But anyhow, it doesn't matter. I just want to get my message out in the fashion that I deem fit. And I will do that. And if I lost a sub that way, then so be it. You don't know me. You don't get me, you know? But if you hang around, you'll see that I'm very fair and very giving. But I can't, I gotta do things in my own way, and I've tried to do like separate videos and been super organized. I'm a teacher for many years, and I know how to complete a lesson plan. But when you're dealing with psychic stuff, and prayers and spirit world stuff, then you just have to, do it however it comes out. So, I hope people appreciate that. Sorry to go off on a tangent, but that was just one of the things that kept me awake. Thank you, Elizabeth. Oh yeah, my Ireland trip. That's something that made me happy because I was in the shower, and because I don't want to be sad anymore about the wedding. I mean, it's really affecting everything, and I get a little bit like this in the summer because I'm not working anymore, so it's a lot of downtime. So, of course I did clean something today, so it's not like I did nothing. But I still have not unpacked my suitcase. I have a book bag over on the floor, and makeup kits that are over on the floor since we came back from the trip. And it's still there. The only thing I put away is my dress. Yeah, I put my dress away, hung it back up. And I was sad about it, but when I was in the shower, I was like, what things, and I pray to God, and I said, what things am I supposed to do to make me come out of this depression and this funk? And I heard God say, be grateful for what you have and the things that you have, the trips that you have gone on. Have I gone home before? Yes, I have. I just went home in April, and I saw my sister in the hospital like 4 or 5 times, and I saw, you know, my good friend of 50 years, and we went to the Pennsylvania hotel for she treated me for my birthday. Then I slept over her house one night too. So I got to see her for 2 days or 2.5 days. And then I saw my kids, and then I went to Ireland, and I was like, yes, nobody could ever take away that trip from me. I had 10 days with my kids in a house. It was like they were little again, and I got to see them in the morning, and I got to see them at night. So I am happy and grateful for that. It's just that it was something I couldn't, like, I guess because I've always gone back home, and I've had trouble where we had to stay overnight in a hotel, and we had all these doctor appointments lined up, and we were late for all the doctor's appointments. A lot of things got screwed up, but we still made it. And then I blame myself. I say, maybe I should have tried to go back again, but I wanted to go with my husband. I always travel alone. I'm always traveling by myself. And I just wanted him to go to that wedding and dance with me and, meet my cousins and stuff like that. And it's just, I have to put the period at the end of the sentence. It's not going to happen. And I ask God to help me so that I can do the work for the missing, so I could do the work with my healing art, because I haven't been able to get out of the funk. I mean, I've been doing my readings. I did Gemini. I did, and it went pretty well. And then I did that little reading last night. It's just that there was, okay, here's a scary thing. I'm going to tell you a scary thing. When I came into the living room after that reading last night, I was so freaked out. And the reason you get freaked out is sometimes you don't close the energy. I was like, if you remember, I abruptly ended that live because I thought I was coming back on to do the next one. And after I ended it, I was like, you're not going back on again. And I was like, why not? I have to push myself because somebody asked me for that video, the second one, and Elijah also, but the girls. And I was like, no, you got to do it during the day. And I was like, okay. And I left the dining room. I don't even think I put my cards away. I just left the dining room, made sure the candles were out. I sat there for a couple of minutes, but I did not say the prayer of closing it. Oh my gosh. I mean, sometimes I could just say it in my head, please, dear God, close off all those energies. I don't want to be bothered by the energies anymore. It's good to talk about. Thank you, Sunkiss. That's right. I feel like I'm a talker. If you don't hear from me, or you don't see like 5 videos, or even little short videos, then there's a problem. Because that means I'm really depressed. If you don't see this mug, if I don't come on, that means I'm very down. That I'm like immobilized. I can't even pop on. But yeah. So I came into the living room, and I was freaked out, and it was this is what I was freaked out about. I wasn't alone. I was not alone in here. Okay, so let me just show you what it looks like in here. Just, there's high ceilings. There's the TV over there. There's the other couch. There's Marilyn and Bob Marley, right? Then over there and there in the walkway, that's kind of where it was. And there's a mirror over there. You can't see it, it's dark. Anyway, I got so freaked out, and I knew that I was not going to calm down. My body, nothing was going to calm down. So what I did was I brought the dogs in finally, but it was really late. It was like 3 a.m. when I brought them in, right? Because usually they calm me down. They help me, they make me feel like calm down. But I'm doing the wrong thing because I'm like sleeping with them every night. Devin says you sleep with the dogs more than you sleep with me, and that is true. That's true because I can't stand the bed. The bed, he put this like one of those foam things on it, and I feel I have worse nightmares than ever. I'm in a full sweat. I have to change my pajamas, and I'm not going through menopause again, but it's just I sweat. It's just too hot on that foam mattress, and I feel dizzy. Like I feel like I can't get off the bed. So I usually fall asleep here on the couch with the ottoman. Well, and I usually have like pillows and put my feet up here like this. And I could breathe and everything. Why am I telling you all of this? Because when I was sitting here on the couch, I was not alone. And I kept on looking to the side, like especially over there where the mirror is. And you can't see it. It's like a doorway. Something was here, something energy wise. So I always try to protect myself in the white light of God, Jesus, and divinely protected. I know I am, but I didn't close it out correctly. I did not close that. I was abrupt. I was channeling all day, trying to write notes for the girls, trying to write notes for Elijah. And I did whatever door there is to that energy. I never said, okay, I'm done with, this energy. And I never said the prayer. I only said the prayer to open it. And so I am not open and receptive to receiving any messages. And I said to God, please, dear God, close up any energy from the spirits. I do not wish to talk to them right now. Please do not allow anything mischievous. I didn't feel like it was evil. It just was something was hanging around. So I'm upset. I'm having like a panic attack and everybody's sleeping. As usual, everybody's sleeping. So I'm always alone. So, but you're not alone because you have God and you have the dogs. So I let the dogs in, and the dogs were acting like a fool, running around after each other. And it's 3 o'clock in the morning, so they shouldn't be doing that. So finally they calmed down. I put on a funny show on Netflix, and the dogs are looking over there, the same place that I was looking at. And especially Casper. Casper's looking over there, and at first I always think there's a bug because, God knows we have those bugs. But because especially if it rains outside, then we see those bugs. I was just like all wound up, and I was like, I went into the bathroom a million times. I know I wake up Devin when I go into that bathroom in the bedroom, but I like that bathroom better. And especially if I'm freaked out, or I change my clothes a million times because I'm sweating and I'm not comfortable with what I was wearing to sleep. And so I wake him up by accident. He goes, "You're still not going to bed?" I go, "Don't even tell me. I'm going to make my tea, put cinnamon in it, my chamomile tea and the cinnamon, and I'm going to put on a happy show." And he was like, "Oh, you're going to fall asleep with the TV on?" I said, "Please don't even bribe me today. Don't even try. Don't even try because I'm stressed out. I'm freaked out." And like when I have panic attacks, It might seem like I'm okay. I'll make jokes and stuff, but I'll just feel it in here, in my chest, as if something bad is happening. But I just, you just have to center yourself. I centered myself with the dogs, but they were looking over there too. Then they're looking at me, but then on the side of me, cats will do that a lot too. Because cats really see the spirits very clearly. Cats are conduits, but dogs are too. And that's why Casper's middle name is Casper Spirit. Because when he was a puppy, he was always, barking and looking at whatever, I guess, spirits I conjured up when I was doing my readings. He was very strong with it. And now he doesn't always bark, but he just looks at them. And sometimes I'll see the shadow people, which you don't want to see the shadow people. You don't want to see the shadow people. Okay, I don't want to freak you out, but I don't want to freak me out either. So what you just say is, please, dear God, protect me and my house. Please don't allow anybody any mischievous spirits around me and my family. And also, please send Archangel Michael down. Thank you. Please and thank you. So that was my story. 1 second, guys. I just got to take this off because it's too hot now and it's starting to make me have worse panic attack. I know, I'm a mess. 1 second. I'm probably not even gonna brush out my hair, but it just dries. It dries really fast, and I'm just proud of myself for going in the shower. I know it sounds insane, but it's almost like I wanted to keep that energy on me, and I kind of heard it. It was like, Kathleen, because usually God doesn't call me Katrina. God calls me Kathleen. Maybe it was my mother saying it to me, but Kathleen, you never even washed off the 16 hours of being in 2 different airports for 16 hours, going on back and forth from plane to plane. You didn't wash that off. The sadness, the tears, the anger. You didn't wash that off. And I was like, I know. I know I didn't wash it off. That's the problem. Every day, it would be like an insurmountable mountain to climb. I mean, I went food shopping. I went to the stores. I made dinner sometimes. But I just couldn't seem to get myself in the shower. And I feel better. I do feel better that I went in the shower, because when you're in the shower or a bath, you cleanse your aura. You clean your aura. You cleanse your aura. Okay? I don't know why I had to say it twice. But let's see, what is anybody saying? Cute names for my pets. Oh yeah, Snoopy Baxter and Casper Spirit. You saw the prayer a lot in your house? You said the prayer a lot in your house? Yeah, I mean, and I burn a lot of sage, and I burnt Palo Santo when I was doing the video. And that is good. Palo Santo burning is good, but there's a very important thing that I have to remember to do and not get lazy with it, and that is closing the prayer. I'm very good with opening the prayer, opening to the spirit world, to talk to that baby, which is really hard to do. So you're kind of talking to him, but feeling his energy then feeling the girls' energy too. But I wasn't fully tapped into the girls because I want to do that like when I have a good energy level and not so down. Because if you do a reading when you're down or depressed, even a little angry, you can't, you'll go very low. You'll go, your depression, and the way it works for me is I'll just be awake for a couple of days. When I did Lori Vallow, and you gotta understand, I take medicine to sleep, and it won't make any difference. I didn't take it yet, so don't worry. It's 12:30 here in Texas, but I didn't take it because I don't want to take it and then wind my mind up. I said I'm gonna just jump on, do a little bit of a live where I just talk about depression, okay, and how to get over it, all right? Because I really am a happy person. I want to be a happy person, and I try to force myself to be happy and grateful for things I have in my life, and not to dwell on, okay, this didn't happen, so what am I going to do? Ruin the rest of my life because I didn't get to go to the wedding? At first I was thinking of doing that, but that would be stupid. And that would be very ungrateful for the life that God has given me. And I'm working on a lot of, let me just put you down for a second because for some reason I have to have lipstick on. That's it. My lips get so chapped when I'm talking about psychic stuff. A lot of things I do is I put perfume on when I'm depressed too. That does help. This is a really nice spray. I think I got this from Bella Butterfly a while ago. It's like vanilla and honeysuckle, I think. It's vanilla and something else. But you put that on. You're supposed to spray your pillow. But who knows when I'm going to get to my pillow. So I spray it on myself. And then your cream, your face cream. This is really good. This is really rich. Actually, I should put it on now because my skin is dry. Smells like Play-Doh. This is for older skin too. Do I have a thing? Oh, 1 second. Sorry, that was creepy. Hopefully I didn't get the cream in my hair. But anyhow. Yeah, I love the smell of this. But if the dogs are in here, Casper will try to lick off any kind of hand cream I put on. He doesn't try to lick my face, but if I put it on my legs and my arms, my hands, he licks it off. I'm like, that's too expensive to lick off there, pal. We just found out today, the reimbursement, the tickets were $1,700, right? So basically we got back $739, like 300 and something each. So I guess that's better than nothing. Yeah, tickets are expensive. But I woke up to that message, so from the travel agent, so I'm glad about that. At first, Devin wasn't happy about that, but then he was like, well, we did go from San Angelo to Dallas, and then we went back after 16 hours later. We went from Dallas to San Angelo. So What happened was, I thought we were going to be sitting in the airport on the waiting list till Friday because they said they had nothing straight to Newark. Anyway, I'm not going to even talk about it anymore. We got back some money, so some is better than none. And what are you going to do? You know, now we have a lot of stuff to do with our roof getting fixed, putting in the stove. I'm going to be opening up the pool this weekend. And I think it's Father's Day, isn't it? So I'm going to be working on that. Sorry, my face is going to look very oily, but that's good for your skin. Hi, Brenda. How are you? Let's see. Yeah, so basically, if you're really feeling down, a good way to get up, to feel a little bit better, is try to do, and this is what my friend Tammy told me. She said, just get your towel and go into the bathroom. Or put away one thing in your suit from your suitcase, and at least you'll put away one thing. I didn't really put away one thing from my suitcase. I have to be honest. I did have to look in my suitcase because I was running out of. I couldn't find my sleep pants, and then I found them in another place. But anyhow, I did try to clean the blinds, so I felt good about that. I did take notes for the cases, the case that I'm working on. So please forgive me that I didn't do that today, but I will do it when my vibe is higher. And that's basically all you have to think about. I did get to go on a nice trip with my kids. Nobody could ever take that away from us. I did, now, we're trying to get Devin's sugar to be more stable. He's taking different diabetic medicine. I gotta start making him more vegetables. And years ago, he went on like a no meat diet because he misunderstood what the foot doctor told him. So I wasn't even living with him, and I used to make him trays of vegetables. He only ate vegetables. So I would take potatoes, cut them up, put a little olive oil in the pan, cut up potatoes, cut up onions, cut up peppers, which I don't even think he could take anymore because he has GERD. But in other words, it was all vegetables, and then I would bake it in the oven, and he would either pick it up from my apartment or I would drop it off at his house because we lived in two different places. So he friggin' lost so much weight. I mean, I don't even know why I wasn't on that diet. But then he found out he lost a lot of weight with that. But he found out the doctor said, "Why aren't you eating meat? I didn't tell you not to eat meat." So he misunderstood. She said the Mediterranean diet, but the Mediterranean diet does have meat, just has more fish on it. Anyhow, I did buy him fish, but with everything that I buy him, that I try to make, is I always try to put a lot of vegetables on the side because we could all use the vegetables. Yeah, the memory foam. That's what it is. It's the memory foam topper. And we left it in the other room, in the guest room, so that it could get big, get puffy. But I think we left it too long because it's good for Devin. So I have to, let us just keep it because he has less aches and pains, he says. And so that's good. I just have I don't sleep well on it at all because this is my bed from my apartment and it's supposed to be low and I liked it. I maybe needed a new mattress, but the mattress was only 10 years old or 14 years old. But I don't know. I just don't like the topper. I thought I was gonna like it, but I hate the way you feel like you're sideways, and then you go to turn over, and your body has to formulate into it. I don't know. Maybe when it's colder out, it feels better, but I tend to feel like I'm sweating, you know, when I do go into bed. I don't know. I'm plagued with nightmares. The only time I didn't have nightmares was when I slept in my nephew's bed, Sean, in my sister Karen and Jimmy's house. That bed, I slept like it was a cloud, and I did not have any bad dreams. That was what I stayed there like 3 days. I woke up beautifully, and I went to sleep beautifully. I mean, I went to sleep late. Don't get it twisted, but I think it was because the bed goes up a little bit, but Devin goes, "We can't buy that right now. We got a roof to fix, we got all these expenses." I said, "I know, but maybe sometime in the future, we could eventually get that type of bed because then I could breathe if I have the headboard up, because that's why I could breathe, that's why I like to sleep sitting up, basically. But then what happens is my neck goes down, like say I'm sleeping like this on my couch, right? But then when I'm sleeping, my neck doesn't always go back here and stay here, it goes here. And if my chin falls down to my chest, that's not good breathing. I have so many problems. I have so many issues. I need a tissue. Okay. So let me just see if anybody's saying anything. I'm sure I'm boring everybody. I never get a lot of people on my live, but that's okay because I was watching an old video of mine where I was talking about 3 cases, and it was really late. I think I had work the next day. I might have had work the next day, but I was making the chamomile tea with the cinnamon. I talked about 3 cases. I'm gonna buy some beer. I don't have any beer. I mean, I even tried a glass of wine last night, but I was too lazy to open up the other bottle, so there was only one glass left in the one bottle. But I don't know. I was like, oh no, I shouldn't go to drinking. I'm not drinking that much because we haven't really gone out anywhere since this whole thing. No, we haven't gone out anywhere. Because he went on his new medicine, so he's got to kind of stay close to the bathroom while he's trying this new medicine, and also just, a lot of expenses. But makes me happy to go out to dinner somewhere. Maybe that'll happen someday soon. But anyhow, I forgot what my trend of thought was. Jersey. I'm from New York City, Staten Island, New York, but I'm in Texas. Whoop. Oh, something just came up. I'm in Texas now, but I'm from Staten Island. Where are you guys from? Elizabeth, where are you from? Oh, is Odin being fresh? Don't be fresh on the Mystic Brady. Okay, so I didn't read this, Sunkissed. Let me just review what you're saying. Finally came out of it, and not a lot of family medical problems. That's the thing, Sunkissed. You have to hang on, and whenever you move, that's the biggest amount of stress. It's almost equivalent to losing somebody when you move. And I should know, I moved 14 times. 14 times. And the 14th time I moved was from New York, Staten Island, New York, to Texas. And that was a huge move. And it's so difficult. I'm telling you, I didn't feel right for 2 to 3 years. 2015, 2016, 2017, really, and even 2018. I didn't feel right. I kept traveling back. I traveled back to Staten Island after in 2016, and I stayed for 40 days in New York. A lot of people thought I got divorced. They were like, "Did you get divorced? Are you leaving your husband?" I was like, "No way, I love him." They were like, "Well, why are you staying here so long?" I was like, "Well, I miss my kids, I miss my family, I miss my friends, I miss the whole..." See, I love Staten Island and I love New York. And but it's so expensive to live there. If we stayed there, both of us would have had to stay working. And it's the Board of Ed. Working for the Board of Ed is really stressful. So this was a better thing, but however, I could honestly say I have not met one friend except for you guys. So I'm grateful. I'm happy and grateful that I met you guys. But I always prayed for a friend, like a neighbor friend, a teacher friend, and I finally resigned myself to saying it's not going to happen. I mean, I met a friend that was a teacher, but it was because our husbands knew each other from college. But they moved away. But even before they moved away, it was always like, "Do you want to go to the movies?" "Oh, yeah, we'll go to the movies." And then she would not carry through. And then I noticed she wasn't even letting me sub for her. She had other people subbing for her. And I was like, "What's up with that? Like, I'm supposed to be your friend. And you know I'm a sub, and you ask somebody else." So I found out she wasn't a friend. So, I mean, the only thing you could do is you can keep on going. You could keep on just saying, "You know what? That situation didn't work out, but I'm going to still be me, and I'm going to still, have hope and faith." And that's what we could do. Okay, guys, I don't have any moderators on, but so I'm moderating myself. Don't say anything rude to the Mystic Brady Bunch, because you will be timed out or possibly blocked. This is a safe place that people get together and do whatever they freaking want to do in a respectful way. Thank you. Namaste. You've been awake at night and you pushed your... But you're always a night owl. Yeah, me too. You push yourself to go to bed by 2. Yeah, when I was working, like as a teacher or a sub, if I went to bed by 1, that was good in my book. Because then I gotta get up at 6. But that was enough sleep for me. Like from 1:45 or 1 o'clock or 1:05 to 6 a.m. To me, that was good. But once I get past like 3:30 and it's almost 4 o'clock and I'm wide awake, I'm wired, because I did a reading or I'm freaked out about something, it doesn't matter if I take my medicine. But you know what you should try? And this is for Sunkist and anybody else who has sleep problems. Chamomile tea, 2 tea bags, chamomile, sleepy time. And you take a teaspoon of cinnamon, put it in there, and then heat it up for 2 minutes in the microwave or just heat up the water. And then mix it in real good and then sip on that. And that helps me a lot. It calms me down. That's what I did last night. Well, this morning around 4:45. I don't mind, like if I'm painting and I'm doing my artwork and I'm in the dining room and I'm doing my artwork and I'll do like 7 canvases, or I'll do 5 canvases and I'm going back and forth from one to the other. I don't mind. Then I wake up when I finally do go to sleep and then I see all the canvases, almost done. And then I'm like, yeah, I had a good night. But when I'm just not doing anything but stressing out and having a panic attack, to me, that's not a good night. But I am a night owl. I've always had trouble sleeping since age 6. So finally, when I went to England with my sister and my daughter and my nephew, Brian, whose wedding I wanted to go to. That was 2006. So I'm not sure how old I was. I probably was like 41. My daughter was 18. What's 20? Let me ask computer. Computer, what's 24 plus 18?
24 plus 18 is 42.
Okay. So I was about 42, right? I thought I was older than that, but if my daughter was 18, then I was 42, because I had her at 24. When I was 24, I had my daughter. So she was 18, and my nephew was probably 19, and my sister Karen and we all went to England to visit my other sister who lived there, right? So I was always having trouble with IBS, but I didn't pay attention to my diet. I was like, I like pizza, I like cheese, I like regatta, I like mozzarella, I like fried food. So anyhow, we were only there 6 days, but you're drinking, you're eating. But my sleep disorder was really bad. And I think my sister Karen gave me a Lunesta, right? I didn't have any prescription pills at that point, right? So I was 42. My sister gave me a Lunesta because she knows me, and she knows how I never sleep. And we were on the airplane, and we were at the airport so many hours. There was a problem. And finally we got to England, and she knew I wouldn't sleep. So she gave me this pill, Lunesta. And I think it worked, right? So she was like, oh, you should ask your doctor if you can get it. So I did. I went to the doctor, and he was like, well, you can't just get prescription pills, for any reason. How long have you had the sleep problem? I was like, well, let me think. Since age 6, I don't remember being able to go to sleep and just fall asleep, besides when I was pregnant. Since age 6, I remember just laying in my bed, hearing everything go on. Then my father would come home, and it'd be really late, and he would come up the stairs. I would hear him going to the bathroom in one bathroom that we had. And just being in school the next day and being like, trying to keep my eyes open like this, because I couldn't stay awake, because I was awake all night. Okay, so he was like, 6. He goes, that could be why. And I had stomach problems, And it was like, I was only in England for 6 days, and it was like I had a big tire around my stomach, right? People say, well, you're fat. Okay, you gained weight. But in 6 days, so he said, well, when you don't sleep, the doctor said, you get a buildup of cortisone in your belly, and all different places, your face, your arms, but especially in your belly, like a spare tire. And then I was having problems with, fried foods and things like that. So, we found out I had IBS as well. I had to be careful with anything fried, anything cheese, blah, blah, blah. So he gave me Lunesta, right? I tried that for a little while. It worked a little bit, but then I was like kind of like in a sleep awake state. Plus, I was doing lesson plans way too late and taking it wrong. So then he switched it to Ambien. Okay. Now, Ambien, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I did, I was able to get some sleep with it. But the bad thing about Ambien is if you're thinking about not eating because you don't want to eat at night, then you take your Ambien. You could go to bed, or fall asleep on the couch, but you'll wake up and then you'll eat whatever you wanted to eat. So it's I don't go like on trips out of the house. I never did that. But you also have to make sure that you take it early enough because I had a doctor that called me up and he knew that, I was traveling. Then when I got my job, teaching job was in Brooklyn, he knew I was traveling over the bridge. And I was like, I didn't think he was that into me, like I didn't think he cared about me. I remember he called me up, he goes, this new law is out and you have to make sure that you're taking that. When do you take your Ambien? And I'm sure I lied to him because I was doing lesson plans. I was in my apartment. So I always had like a manic state where I'm staying up really late doing marking papers and doing whatever lesson plans and trying to, I had my dog, Cleo. And so just everything was late, not even watching TV late. I was doing preparations with lesson plans. But he told me, he goes, you could be driving over he goes, you know how many people are driving over the bridge? They took the Ambien too late and the Ambien is still in there and they died. They crashed. And I was like, really? Like, a lot of people that drove over the Brooklyn Bridge? He goes, it doesn't matter. It could, some with Brooklyn, some with Washington Bridge, some with the Manhattan Bridge. And he goes, you can't take it past 10 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock. He goes, you need to have at least 6 hours, 7 hours of sleep or 7 hours of, he goes, because what time do you travel over the bridge, from Staten Island to Brooklyn? I was like, well, I get up at like, I think I got up at like 5:30 and then I got ready and then I got to get on the road by 6 because I think we had to be at school a little bit later then. Because here we have to be at school at like 7:10. School is started, you know. Um, you got to be in front of the classroom at like 7:10. Anyway, there it was later. It was 8 something. I think it was 8:15. But anyhow, I had to be on the road because I had bridges to go over. So he was like, "No, you don't take that pill." He goes, if it's late and you realize that you didn't take the pill, he goes, "Don't take it." And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Don't take it because if you got to get up for work the next day, you could fall asleep and die behind the wheel or kill somebody else. And then when he said that, it made a lot of sense. Of course, I don't want to kill somebody. I don't want to be killed. So if I didn't take my pill and it was like 1 in the morning, I didn't take it. I just, I didn't have that much sleep. And then I remember sleeping in my car on my lunch period. But yeah, because I also have Hashimoto's, so I have to take a thyroid pill in the morning, and I've been forgetting to take it. I forget to take that too, and then that could be why I'm so tired. I'm sorry about talking about all this. Do what you feel is best. No one can tell you how to feel or do things. That's true. That's true, Sunkissed. I know I'm very behind in the chat. $11 people in the house. Can you give me a thumbs up, please? Yeah, does the energy feel like it's gotten lighter? Have you gone around and saged your Palo Santo? I basically did the Palo Santo in the dining room, but I probably should have done it in here, but it got better. It did get better. When I closed up, I had to say it. I had to say it earlier today because I didn't take out any cards today. What I do is I have a notebook and I'm writing notes, and I was trying to tap in. So when I tap in, I have to ask spirits, could you let me talk to Elijah? Can you let me talk to the spirit guides? Or can you let me talk to Elizabeth? And I have to have the energy to do it because I have to close it up again. So I just said, I don't want to speak to anybody right now. I'm not doing any readings, and please protect the house. Please protect me. And I don't want that feeling of sadness because you can also, as an empath, absorb all their. I just looked at myself and I looked really weird. You can absorb all their sadness. And they're not sad now because they're in heaven. But when you're trying to tap into what happened to somebody that was murdered, that was, taken before their time, you're feeling their pain. You're absorbing their stress. You're absorbing their fears. And that is really heavy. Like right now, I feel a little bit heavy in the chest area, but that could be somebody out there that's watching. It could be somebody, that's experienced anxiety or chest problems, heart problems. And if you are, and you do have heart problems or anything in the chest area, visualize green, visualize pink, visualize a green light around you, or pink. Those are the two colors that are good. And breathing. Let's take a nice cleansing breath. I haven't done that in a long time. And I have to remember to do all these things. Let's take a deep breath in. Deep breath in again. Oh, and I want to give a shout out to Forever Bella's kids. Her son graduated from junior high and he's going to go to high school. His name is David. Yay, David. Good job. And her daughter, Marissa, I believe Marissa, the Leo, she's graduating high school. So tomorrow. So congratulations, David and Marissa and David. And I wish you lots of luck in college and in high school. Yeah, the energy feels better now. Have you tried the lettuce tea? No, I haven't tried lettuce tea. Is that good? I haven't even seen that. I want to try it. You saw that prayer in your house? Okay, I think I'm going backwards in the chat. You put perfume on it. It does lift your spirits. Yeah, this cream is really hydrating. It might look very oily, but it's the same cream that what's her name? Bethany Frankel uses. And I don't know if you could see it. It just the smell of it is really nice. Like, you should always have a little fragrance around you, and if you get nervous, you sniff it, and it makes you feel better. I know, I'm such a weirdo. You would think I'm 7 years old. But yeah, I remember when that doctor called me and said that. It was really scary. It was nice because I was like, I didn't think he cared about me, because, I don't know, one time he said something about me being, like, he lost a bunch of weight and then he wasn't nice to me anymore. And I was like, because he lost a bunch of weight, he seemed different. Hi, Tracy Delahante. I didn't know that you were here. Hi, Tracy. You bought some cream called Calm Balm? A YouTube creator makes it with all natural ingredients. Can you put your P.O. box so you could send me some? Oh, yeah, I'll put my P.O. box at the end. I'll put it on the video. It's on other videos too. Thank you. That's really nice of you. It would be nice to get a new bed. Yeah, my pillows are really propped up. I'm usually always, the pillows are really high, but that helps you to breathe. Because I can't get one of those masks. That was another thing. They wanted to always send me to the sleep center. And I got like a little bit, like, for the preliminary, and I got a couple of tests done, and then I just couldn't go through with it. And this was in New York, in Staten Island, where I was covered, where I had coverage, medical coverage. Over here, I don't. So it's like, it's not like I can really just openly go to the doctor. So I set my mind to, like, I'm just going to be healthy and strong and just not have to go to the doctor. But just like the little checkups I do. But anyhow, you could heal yourself. But I think, what did I do? Oh, so they sent me a letter. So then I said to them, when I go to sleep and you're going to put all these things on me, am I going to be able to have my medicine? And they said, no, of course you're not going to have your sleep medicine. And I knew what I was looking at. They were I would be awake all night because they weren't going to give me my medicine. And then they were going to tell me I was going to have to use the mask. And guess what? I'm so claustrophobic, I would never be able to use that mask. You know that mask, that sleep mask? Oh no, hell no. I can't do it. The other thing that they can implant something in you, that I would do. That doesn't seem bad. I mean, I don't really want to do that, but I would do that before I would wear a mask. So then I got this horrible letter from them, and the letter said, you did not finish with the sleep program. You didn't sleep overnight or something. And from the other tests that we did, like, you wear a monitor and you go sleep with it and stuff, and the monitor showed that I stopped breathing, throughout the night. Anyway, they said, based on our tests, you could stop breathing when you're driving over the bridge. Everything was with driving over the bridge. Or you're going to stop we can't be responsible for you because you could stop breathing at night and die unless you listen to us and get the mask and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, I'll take my chances. Roll the dice. Roll it. Okay. Because I can't, I'm claustrophobic. So, you try to lose some weight. I'm always trying to lose weight. And you try to eat better. But basically, the doctor I had here, actually Devin's heart doctor, I went to him once too. And he said, you're not gonna get the mask, are you? I said, no. No, you've met me, I guess. And he said to me, well, what do you do with sleeping now? And I said, well, basically, I always fall asleep on the couch. And he goes, you know what? That's good for you because you're sitting up. So you're probably breathing better. And I said, I guess so. And he goes, well, that's good. And I was like, you're the first person in my life and first doctor to say, that's good that you sleep on the couch. And he was like, and then when you do go to bed, to lay in the bed, make sure that you have pillows. And I said, I always usually do. I do. So we live and we learn. I didn't like living in Texas for the longest time, but I'm here 9 years, and now I guess I'm finally used to it. The only thing missing, I feel, is like I wish I had friends or we had friends, like more friends. Like Devin has a couple that he goes for pizza with, but she's she's the wife doesn't really talk to me. So, but like if I had to say that, well, at least we have that couple. But you know, I wish I had more friends here. Because we have my brother-in-law and nobody in my family, and nobody visits us except my son comes sometimes, and my daughter, she came once or twice in 2016 and I think 2017, and that was it. So there's good and bad. I love my house. I love my pool. I'm excited. I'm going to be opening up my pool this weekend. Um, but and I do like to work. I like my teaching sub jobs. Um, that keeps me busy. But she's a little lonely. But I do feel like the lifestyle is easier. Um, because if we stayed in New York, I would have had to. We wouldn't have gotten a house like this, and I would have had to stay working in Brooklyn over the bridge. Okay, and they were starting to mess with me. So at least here, it's a slower, easier lifestyle, just a little bit lonely. Um, I'm always praying that I find that friend, just to break up the monotony, to somebody invite you over for a barbecue, or somebody that you can invite over for a barbecue. Um, yeah, that would be nice. But it's great for the dogs. Um, we came here with 3 dogs, 2 cats, 2 turtles, and a rabbit. So now we're down. The 3 dogs that we came with, they all passed away, but we replaced them with Casper and Snoopy. We have 1 turtle left out of the 2, and the rabbit did die. And the 2 cats, they were 17 and 19, so they lived a long life. And even the dogs, the only one that didn't live that long was Meadow, because she had lymphoma, she had cancer, and so she died when she was, I think, 10. Um, yeah, she lived a couple of years here. But anyhow, Yeah. Where are you from? You lived, wait, you had never, let me just read this. I had never lived out of MD. What's MD? Minnesota? No. Michigan? What's MD? Computer. What is the state that is initials MD?
Maryland, a mid-Atlantic state in the USA, is known as the Old Line State and is perhaps best known for its crab cakes in proximity to Washington, D.C. The Maryland Department
Is that
of Health is in
Maryland?
charge of ensuring the health and safety of the state's residents.
That was a lot. Okay, is that Maryland? So you never lived out of Maryland before? You had no family or friends here? Travel back and forth, you come and start over again adjusting. New York. Yeah. Yeah, New York is I mean, my son moved from, he kind of lives in Pennsylvania, but he moved to Austin, Texas, but I've never seen his house yet. So you would think I would have been there. Hi, Tracy. Hi, buddy. Welcome. I was just having a little chat about being down and depressed. Now I'm feeling better. Dallas, Texas. All right, Elizabeth. Hey, I could have visited you when we were stuck in Dallas for 16 hours. Sixth Sense, Amelia, how are you? Thank you. Sending blessings to you. Are you from Hawaii? Yes, you're from the Pamley. Okay, Tracy. You go to bed. I'm going to be getting off soon too. I was just chatting before I take my medicine. Hi, Scullified. You just got off of work? Where do you live? We have Ohio, we have Texas, we have Maryland. Should I change my sleeping meds? I've tried to change them. I just looked at myself and it looked like I was bald. I tried to change them. I've been on different ones, and it did not go good. It did not go well. So I find that Ambien 10 milligrams is usually good. Every once in a while, when they switch me to 12.5, it would be good if they switched me like every 6 months, but then they stopped. It stopped working, so I just stuck with the 10 milligrams. And just sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Oh my God, I belched that last breath. I'm very behind in the chat. I don't know if Tracy's still here or not. Steep lettuce leaves in hot water for a few minutes, then you take the leaves out and drink honey. Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah, I'm really behind, so if I don't make sense, it's because I'm behind in the chat, as usual, as per usual. I should have brushed my hair out after it was wet, but I just was happy that I took a shower. I was grateful for that. Okay, so let me read this one. My dad had sleep problems and he would stop breathing during sleep. Yeah, Devin does too. It's really scary. I remember him making jokes when he had the mask on right before he would go to sleep. He sounded like Darth Vader. Yeah, and I know they have something better now. They do have something better. And I also take a muscle relaxer that sometimes helps because I get very bad cramps in my neck, and it helps the muscles. You have to sleep apnea. What a letter to send somebody from a sleep study. If and I told him, yeah. You live and you learn. My mom used to say that too. Oh, that would be nice for you to have more friends. Yeah, I mean, even just one. I used to say that to God. Am I asking too much for one friend? But I mean, I don't really have that much hope because anymore because I've worked at probably 10 different schools or more. And I've worked, a lot of days, and a lot of them, especially when I first was here. When I first was here, I worked at one school where I worked from pre-K all the way to high school, and they wanted to hire me for the high school, but I don't like high school kids. They're fresh and they video you and they try to get you fired, and I'm like, hell's to the nah. But anyway, yeah, I just like, and then people don't like they make believe they like my accent, but they don't really. After you tell them your story, oh, what brings you here? What brings you here to Texas? Then I tell them the story, and then they don't talk to me again. They're like, oh, yeah, New York. So I don't know. It was weird. I was working in one school, and everybody was getting together to go to do, you drink wine and you paint, right? And I've done that in New York, in Staten Island and stuff. It's nice. It's fun with my friends. And I was working at this school, and we were, I was there all the time. I was there every day, right? Subbing. And I was like their main sub. And it was right in the beginning, 2016. So we moved here 2015. I didn't have a job when we first moved in because, you gotta wait. I was unpacking. So I got the job in January 2016. So I was working there, working there probably usually sometimes every day of the week. And then finally I heard them talking about that, and I thought I was going to be invited. Then me and Devin, on the day off, we went into town and we found the place. And so Devin was asking questions because he knew I was like depressed. And he was like, oh, who comes here? Like, do you usually have like nights that, people come for painting? And they go, oh, yeah, this school is coming this Saturday. And it was the school I was working at. But they didn't invite me. So when I went back there, it was a couple of days beforehand, and I mentioned it to somebody, and they just looked at me and they were like, yeah, we're going there. And I was like waiting for them to invite me. And Devin goes, you should just go. You're allowed to go there. I said, I would never, especially in a different, you know, in a different state, where I don't even know anybody. I would never just invite myself. I said, the person knew that I went there. I said, I told them all about it. Oh, yeah, I was in this art place, and I like to paint and I like to drink wine. And I think they said you guys were going to go there on Saturday, and they didn't invite me. And it was like pathetic. And so, because I used to push myself to sit in the cafeteria and eat with them because I thought, I'll get friends. I'll get somebody to be my friend. I'm always at the school. I told them my story. And then I realized when they didn't invite me to the sip and paint, I'm not going to just go there by myself like a loser. So then I stopped eating in the cafeteria. I ate in my room. But I tried. Because I remember Devin saying, oh, if you just eat in your room, how are you going to get to know anybody? And I was like, they don't want to make friends with the sub. Yeah. And then I did that thing where I went back to New York to see my friends and family. And then it was like, when are they going to come visit me? Yeah. Maryland. Okay, Maryland. Maryland's very beautiful. Hi, Rain Cloud. Oh, Florida. Florida, you having a lot of rain? I heard there's floods and stuff. Judy Bullock, Minnesota. How you doing, Judy? Hi, G Ram. Yes, we're going to put out the energy. We're going to have a good night's sleep, and we're not going to do any scary dreams, no nightmares. We're going to have nice visitors from heaven. Oh, you take 12.5 milligrams of Ambien? Now, do you find that it doesn't work sometimes, Judy? Because I find I used to be on, the doctor used to switch me from like 6 months on 10 milligrams, then that stopped working. Then he would switch me to 12.5. Then I noticed he doesn't do that anymore. I might have to ask him to do it, but I don't know. Now I'm just at the point, because I guess I've been on since 42. So 42 or 43 is when I went on sleep medicine. It didn't always work. But yeah, so age 40, since 42. But I heard Ambien could bring on dementia. So I'm like, I gotta roll the dice. Do I want to sleep at all? Oh, your brother-in-law is from New York? Skullified? Yeah, my accent is very prominent. And I used to try to change it because I was like, especially when I came here, I was like, nobody wants to talk to me because of my accent, right? But not the kids. The kids are like, you talk funny, and then they get over it. But yeah, that's why I love to be a teacher. I love kids because they won't hold a grudge, you know. But yeah, I used to try to like lessen my. I had a assistant principal. She was from Jamaica, right? And the assistant principal in Brooklyn used to come to my class, observe me, and when they were starting to mess with me, when she was giving me my evaluation after she would watch my lesson, that I would, prepare to the hilt. And you get so stressed out, and there was so many things I had to do. And then she told me, I'm going to be straight with you. Your accent is very hard on the children. I wasn't even from Brooklyn. I was from Staten Island. So I said, excuse me? She said, yeah, you really, the kids really can't understand what you're saying because of your heavy Brooklyn accent. And I said, well, first of all, I am born in Staten Island. And she goes, well, you have a very heavy accent. Now, meanwhile, she was from either Jamaica or Trinidad, right? So she had an accent on herself, right? Okay, no shade, but shade. So I went I went toe to toe. I made her laugh, but because the kids in my class, they were Arabic, they were Chinese, they were Japanese, they were Russian, like spoke all different languages, didn't even speak English, a lot of them. Maybe a handful of them were from Mexico, and Spanish, a couple from Puerto Rico. So we had a whole mixture, right? But heavy Asian and Arabic, believe it or not. So I said to her, assistant principal, I said, well, the thing is, I have this accent, but I taught on the college level composition English, rhetoric, creative writing, and just regular ESL English in 3 different colleges, right? And also, I'm a teacher for a million years. And I said, and a couple of times when I was on the college level, they would say, your accent is very heavy. Please, pronounce the words better. And, I can have, bring it up, put it on, put the act on. They don't pay me enough, but I could do it, right? But I said to her, this is pre-K, and these kids don't even speak English that come in here. I turn them from whatever their native language is, say Chinese, Japanese, Arabic, and after a couple of months, usually by October 15th, these kids are speaking English, or they have a whole vocabulary of English. And she was like, yeah, but what I'm worried about is if they're going to have the accent that you have. I was like, they're in Brooklyn. They are in friggin' Brooklyn. What do you expect? And she started laughing. I was like, they are getting the full experience, the New York experience. They live in friggin' Brooklyn. Okay? This school is in Brooklyn. I'm from Staten Island. My parents were born in Brooklyn, but they didn't even talk like me. Okay? My father a little bit, but my mother, her mother was from England, so she didn't have a heavy accent from even living in Brooklyn. She spoke the King's English. That's what she would say. But anyhow, so I'm like, if I'm anything, I have to be me. And she was really just trying to get on me. And these kids are pre-K. They friggin' understood me because I'm very, like, good with doing face language. The kids that don't was sitting in front of me didn't speak a word of English. They're afraid. They don't want to be there. They want to be with their mommy, their daddy. And I would make them calm, and I would make them laugh and smile, and then slowly integrate music and song and words and vocabulary, and teach them to read, teach them to speak. And I mean, what do you get for that? She was getting ready to get on me. And I knew that was coming. And I couldn't live through that again because that's what happened to me in Staten Island. So I was like, oh, we're not doing this. But I had her laughing. I had her laughing. One time she was yelling at me. I was in the parking lot in Staten Island in the car, like over by a CVS. And I was telling Devin how this assistant principal was trying to mess with me and get on me. And he was like, oh, hell no. And I was like, you'll see. And so she was on the phone. I forget what she was trying to yell at me about. She didn't know that Devin was in the car. I put her on speaker. She starts yelling, getting fresh with me. It's like, this is all I needed, I I had a really stressful life, and it was a terrible divorce, and then this was then I had a horrible principal in Staten Island, and I finally got over to Brooklyn. But now this lady was messing with me. So she starts yelling at me and raising her voice to me because she thinks it's just me and her. And she's used to me being, complacent. I was always so like trying to, I'd never be yelling back. Never. No, I wouldn't do that. Right? I was like, I want to keep my job. I need to keep my job. I need to pay my rent. Right? And so Devin pipes up and he was like, excuse me, excuse, and he takes the phone. He says, I'm sorry, ma'am. This is my fiance. You're yelling at my fiance. She does nothing but break her butt every day. She's working on this and that. Oh, I know what it was. I had a parent that said he was going to come to the school and mess me up. Right now I'm in the trailer, right? So she is telling me that I'm not allowed to call the cops if it was going to happen again. He said something like he was going to come and end me because he didn't like how his daughter didn't, his kid said I was mean to her, and I was never mean to her. This was in September and then October. By October, she never came back to school, but she came back for the pictures. But she would act as if she came in every day and cried. And so, I knew some kids, they're going to cry, but the mother would sit on the steps outside, and I would call the security guard. Security guard would try to escort her away. You got to leave the kid. The kid knew she was out there. So she would climb on the door and bang on the door. So it was this whole big thing. So I was trying my best to, you know, ignore it as much as I could, but I'm telling you, she would cry 2.5 hours. And she was only in the classroom it was morning class and an afternoon class. So she was only in the class from 8 o'clock to get picked up at 10:30. And she would scream and yell and kick and knock things down and just stand in the corner the whole entire time. So anyhow, the father says he's coming and he's going to mess Miss Brady up. He's going to give me a beating, right? So I tell Devin, and Devin goes, no, you're not calling the security guard. Because the security guard, she was sweet, but nobody was afraid of her. So he certainly wasn't afraid of her. The 6 foot, 250-pound guy. So, and the mother too. Both of them were going to mess me up. The mother was always sitting there outside the trailer saying that, trying to say stuff in the window, peeking in the window. Like, that's not right. So anyhow, instead of supporting me, this assistant principal said to me, I wasn't allowed to call the cops. If I called the cops, that I would get written up, something like that. So she's going back and forth with me. She's on speaker. So then Devin goes, I was a dean. And then she goes, oh, who's that? Who's that? And he was like, excuse me, ma'am, you're yelling at my fiance. And I work for the Board of Ed. And I was a dean, and I am a dean in such and such school. And yes, she can call the cops. She can call 911 right from her trailer. If somebody is threatening her, she's not just going to call, oh no, no sir, she can just call the security, or she can call me. I'll handle it. And he goes, no, my fiance is not going to be threatened by these parents. They sit outside her room threatening her as if she's killing the kid, and she's doing nothing but trying to teach the kids and keep all the other kids calm. And so he's saying all this stuff, and she backed her ass up. She backed it up, way up. And it was just funny. But the thing is, if I didn't have him when I was in the school, the principal was always calling me in, trying to mess me up. When I hurt my neck and my back from taking a box down off the closet, and I heard it snap in my, like, my neck, my shoulder, and my middle back. I wasn't supposed to go to work, but I couldn't. I had to do it because it was the end of the school year. It was June, and when I let the principal know, um, you know, that I needed help cleaning up the room for the end of the year, she was like, "Well, why didn't you tell me sooner that you needed help? And why are you even here if you hurt your back? Then you should have filled out a form." And I was like, "No, I'm okay. I'm all right. It's just that, I twisted something. And I didn't do it here, because if you do something and you don't fill out this big form, they try to write you up for everything." It was so terrible. I'm telling you, it was so terrible. I'm starting to get anxiety talking about it, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Anyway, guys, he grew up in Manhattan all his life until after he graduated college. And then where do you live now? I'm sorry if you said it before. Yeah, sewing class, gardening, that's good. I have a black thumb, so I can't garden, but I mean, I thought about the art class. Over here, it's like everything's with the church, but I don't trust the church. Churches, I'm not, a church isn't for me. Doing okay. I could stay awake for a few hours, or if I go to bed, I could sleep, I think. I know, it's like rolling the dice, right? If you have too much in your stomach, then you won't sleep. Coming from New York is something to be proud of. I am proud of it. I miss everything New York. That's why I was sad that because I wanted to go. We wanted to see my stepdaughter. Um, your neighbors from Brooklyn. That's where my parents were from. Yeah, I stuck up for myself for my accent because I heard that a lot when I was teaching on the college level. They were like, "Oh, your accent's too, it's like Jersey Shore. What are you from the Jersey Shore?" And I was like, "Yeah, but the kids could relate to me." And they were like, "Oh, it's such a heavy accent. Like we really don't want people, in the English department to be speaking like that." And I was like, "Well, I'm not going to change myself, but if I speak slower, then I'll enunciate better." But yeah, I was like, "Yeah, you got a lot of nerve. You're not paying me enough to change." Hi, Karina Virgo. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Waterloo, Iowa. That's right. You told me Waterloo, Iowa. And your sister have been in Chicago ever since, and they met at the Petrie building. Oh, that's so cool. That is really cool. Okay, I think I'm going to take. Oh, another thing that I do is I watch on TV. Oh, they're getting ready to update my TV. Okay, if you have anxiety, right, you got to be careful what you're watching and what you're listening to. Sorry about the burps. They're starting to come out. But yeah, so I watch a lot of crime shows on my phone, and then on TV. I was watching that New York show. It's not that scary, but I noticed my brain was still overstimulated and like wired. So uh, I watch a funny show called The Reunion on Netflix, and I suggest it. I highly suggest it. I used to watch the Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That was really good, but I watched all of that. So that's what happens. I'm running out of shows to watch. I think Heartland, anything with horses, calms me down too. I don't know how to ride a horse, but I like watching them. But anyway, thank you guys for being with me. But it's almost 2 o'clock, and I should really take my medicine and just like power down, slowly power down. Dolphin left, dolphin right. Yeah, those kind of things are very good. And also, meditation music like green noise, even just listening to that for a little while is good. Brown noise, pink noise. Um, but I like Jason Stevenson because when I put on him in the background, like the dopamine release, if I'm really feeling sad, I put on the dopamine release. But last night I had it on in the background for that video, and that's supposed to make you sleepy and happy at the same time, but instead it made me like, I don't know, I felt sadder. But it was probably because I didn't close out Elijah Blue and I was feeling everything that he went through. So sorry about my age spot here and here. It used to be the shape of New York, now it's the shape of Texas. And I got another one here. I usually have makeup on it. Oh. If anybody knows how to get rid of age spots, let me know. Because I got a whole bunch on my hand too. See that one? I had to start putting, when I go for my walks, I had to start putting it on my hands. Foundation. But anyhow, I love you all. I hope that you guys have a nice night. And I will definitely be doing my video tomorrow at some point during the day for the girls, for Elizabeth. Yeah, and I still think that the guy is alive and lives in that town. Scary. Okay, I don't want to think about it, so I'm not going to think about it now. But anyhow, I love you all, and just if you're feeling down or you're feeling like you didn't do anything to on your list, just do one thing. Just do one thing. Like I cleaned the blinds, even though they're not perfect. At least I started it. I got one layer of dirt off, and I took a shower. Yay me! Yay shower. Okay, showers really do clean your aura, so I'm a lot lighter now. Look, maybe I lost a weight. Maybe I lost a pound from just taking a shower in 7 days. Here's my pants. Here's my shirt. Wait, I'll show you my unicorn and then I'm out. Is it a unicorn? Do you see my unicorn? Okay. Alright, I'm getting silly and I didn't even have my medicine yet. Okay. Everybody, have a cheers. I know this looks like a beer bottle, but it's not that cool. It's Topo Chico. It's really good stuff. Alright. I love you all. And I will see you tomorrow. Okay? Thanks for playing. Thanks for playing the game in this matrix of life. And actually, thank you for being my friend. Right? See, I prayed for a friend, But God gave me 11 friends tonight. Okay. Have a great night. Good night. Namaste.